Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And hello, happy Turtle Tuesday. Finally, we're back on a Tuesday. It feels like it's been so long, but we are here for another Turtles and Tea. So I hope you got your mugs ready. I've even brought a turtle with me today. This is genuinely my favourite turtle toy from when I was a kid. This is one of the many reasons I love turtles, but yeah. His disguise, you probably can't tell who it is because of his amazing disguise, but under there is the best turtle there is. And make sure you vote on the poll that's live right now because he's currently not winning and I'm not happy about it. But maybe I can convince these two gentlemen. As always, we have the co-host of Turtles and Tea, the Super Turk 5000, and then Jay's Toys Collection UK is joining us once again. Jay, you were here for the very first episode as well, so welcome back, my friend.
Hello, welcome back. I nearly wasn't here. The internet decided to go down an hour ago, but...
Look, you're here now. That's what matters. And Tanner, my friend, the co-host, I couldn't do it without you, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. It's the start of a new working week, and I'm rather hyped up.
Yeah.
For reasons we'll go into.
Yes, we've got some. So basically, if you don't know and you're watching on the replay, Turtles and Tea is basically a live stream where we recap all the recent toy turtle related news. Now, obviously, after San Diego Comic-Con in July, there's a little bit of a lull because, let's be honest, there's a lot of reveals then. But there's still some nice little nuggets that we can get into today. We've got some SUPER7, a new Wave 8 of the Ultimates line has went up for pre-order as we're basically ready for Wave 5. I think Wave 5 is going to hit any time now as well, like in hand. So that's exciting. We've also got some Neca teases as well. Now, we're not too sure how much Neca want us to know, but we've got some investigating done online, and we seem to have found a few little clues. So we like chasing those nuggets. So we're going to get into that. We've also got some retro news to talk about in regards to toys, and then we'll also end the stream on the new Turtles movie, which I haven't seen yet, but I think Tanner and Jay both have. And also a new game may have came out today. But again, I'm not the guy you talk to for games. That's why Tanner is here. So we'll finish off with that. But we'll always start with the toy news as always. But before we do that, let me just say hello to the people that are here live. Please, if you are here live, as I said, this sort of was an unannounced sort of stream. It's me forgetting what day of the week it is. So if you want to give this a little screenshot, give it a share on your Instagram stories. I will always repost everybody who tags me. Make sure you tag Tanner as well, SuperTurk5000, and follow Jay's Toys Collection UK. The link is in the description of this video. And I didn't forget the E this time, Jay, right? It's in there. That was a typo. But yes, please, everyone, links in the description, but please give this a share. Let people know we're here live and we're talking Turtles. We're going to be with you for like the next hour or so. But let me get into the housekeeping first and foremost. You know the score. It's the Dan Who Network. Lots of live shows. We love talking toys around here, but I can't do it on my own. Every single show I have you guys with me. On Thursday, we're Brandon and Rich talking Marvel Legends. We just did a record-breaking Legends and Liquor with 23 unique guests. Nearly a 5-hour stream. Absolutely insane. And then today is, of course, Turtles and Tea with the Super Turk 5000. Another Joe's and Juice with Mark and Tom will be happening very soon. But until then, we are talking Turtles. Of course, you can donate, contribute anything you want to the stream. It is much appreciated towards the channel. Anything over £4 or $4. Friday is working on a Tuesday. She will read your super chat out loud, okay? Also, the Streamlabs link is in the description. It works exactly the same as Friday. It's just that YouTube don't gobble up all the money. But anything over £4, $4 will contribute to the stream, and your comment will forever live in YouTube history, all right? So we appreciate that, and hit that join button. Don't be shy. And I also want to plug the mugs. Like, how could we not? It's a show called Turtles and Tea, so let's do that. So before we get into the teasers, let me find our mugs. I know they're here somewhere. Well, I had it up. I might have closed it. Oh, there it is. There we go. There you go. There's my Turtles mug. Now, I'm still frustrated that mine looks blue. I assure you, that's just camera magic. This is purple to represent the best turtle. And can I reveal? This is going to be a shock to everybody. 30 years later, we finally discover who is the turtle in disguise. Oh, it's Donatello the whole time! I can't believe it. What a disguise. What a disguise. I would never have known. Would never.
Oh, I don't believe it. I thought it was Raph all these years.
Wow, so do SUPER7 apparently, but they clearly never took the mask off. Yeah, there you go. There's my Turtles. So go and get yourself a Turtles and Team mug. I think we also have some T-shirts up there as well. I think Tanner's repping a T-shirt today. There you go, Turtles and Team, the nice blue. I'm repping one of the Turtle T-shirts from the Loot Crates. Remember Loot Crate? What a great idea that was. Maybe not. We'll find out. Maybe we're in the stream with some Loot Crate updates. Anyway, Turtles and T, go and get yourself a mug. Go and get yourself a T-shirt. We appreciate the support all the same. But as always, we start off these streams talking some toys. Of course, that's why we're here. Our love for toys, especially Turtle toys. So I'm going to throw it to Tanner. And Tanner, my friend, what new Turtle toys have you got in hand since the last time we spoke?
So, we'll start... because it's been a month, I can't remember exactly everything I've got. So we'll start off with what I've got in front of me. It's that Usagi Yojimbo.
Beautiful.
Although mine has a little issue with the right arm. It keeps on popping out of the socket. I don't think the peg is long enough.
Okay.
It is what it is, but brilliant. Can't complain about that.
I'm just going to pause there for a second and say, me too, my friend, me too. Jay, I'm assuming you're the same.
I'm joining in right now.
There you go.
The arm is all good, and the articulations are really good as well, surprisingly. I was really quite surprised how it moved.
So I love this guy so much, I brought two of them because I love the way that you can display him with the hood up and the actual ears hide under his hat. So yeah, I'm gonna have multiple turtles on a display. I may as well have multiple Usagi. I think Usagi, the punk toads, frogs, and the turtles are like some of my most nostalgic characters. So I had to have multiple. And yeah, very excited to open this. Not open mine yet, but I will be checking out that arm issue. Have you got any issues with yours, Jay? Is yours good?
No, he's all good. I said the articulations are really quite smooth, surprisingly, for Neca. Didn't have to eat him up at all. All moves really well. So no, I was very impressed with him. He even stands up without falling over.
Oh, nice.
Which is a miracle.
That is a bonus. But I love it when a character looks like how they looked on screen, and Usagi looks like he jumped out of the cartoon from the 80s. So loving that. What else, Tanner?
So along with Usagi, we got the Neutrinos 3-pack. Still haven't got around to open those up. I'm sure I will do that sooner or later.
It's like I don't feel like they're going to be complete until we've got one of their cruisers. By the way, one of their foot cruisers, because I've seen a few customs online, and that is the way to display the Neutrinos. I don't remember the surfboards as such as much as I do the actual foot cruisers. So
the Star Cruiser,
yes.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think we'll see how Neca does with the Turtle Van before they do the Star Cruiser. And on the Turtle Van, as you guys know, I've gone down the Mega Bloks hole.
Usagi hole, rabbit hole. We were just talking about rabbits.
Rabbit hole, yes. Last time you guys saw, I had the Krang Revenge. This time, the Turtle Van War has begun.
Wow! Because
we have got the Turtle Wagon, and it was really, really nice, really, really cool. I'm not sure if you guys can see April's in the driving seat.
Oh, nice, yeah.
That's all. Yeah, we got Splinter and Mikey and Shredder and Mikey battling on the top. So doors open and it does roll around, which is the main thing. Doors open and you've got the little fire off missile, which I'm not going to fire off purely because of the fact it will go missing, and I don't want to lose it. So in the cannon it stays.
It looks like a nice little size as well, a nice chunky size, like not too small.
Yeah, 100%. Nice little storage space as well. So I can't complain about that.
Let me use this opportunity to shout out Rob Pollock, right? He is the king of Minimates. And when we did like a little trade recently, he also packed in this Minimates of Donatello. And he uses that exact party wagon as his wagon for his Minimate figures. So it scales pretty well with these guys for anyone that was curious. Because I don't think Minimates have done a van as such. But if you want one in that scale, the one Tanner was showing off, the Mega Bloks one, works out pretty well.
Mm-hmm. And whilst we're on the Mega Bloks one, for those of you who watched that record-breaking stream, Legends of Neca, will see I had the Technodrome in. Now, I know on the stream I did say I would probably have it finished by today. That isn't the case, because I started building it on yesterday, spent most of the day building it, and by the time 8 p.m. rolled around, I realised I missed at least 2 steps, and without actually taking the thing apart and forgetting how to put it back together. I thought, sod it, take it all apart. We'll put it all back together when we have a lot more time than a day.
Rewind. Yeah.
Yes, a little project for another day, I would say. And I think that's me all this month, unless I've forgotten something.
Well, as I said, it's been like a quiet month. We're playing catch up. We made a lot of pre-orders in March and April that we are still waiting to receive. So they're slowly coming through. But I think Jay's been you're talking about rabbit holes, and we were showing off Usagi. Well, Jay loves finding holes to dive in head first, and he may have just done that. That's why he's probably on today's show to justify some of these purchases. So go on, Jay. What have you been buying?
The rabbit hole. Right. We'll start with the hole I was already down, which was the Neca animated. So
Okay.
I've also got Usagi in, as you've seen, and the Neutrinos 3-pack. But I haven't been brave enough to open this
Let me
one.
show mine off as well. Yeah, me too.
And none of us have been brave enough to open
No.
it. I have heard the QC's a little here and there on this one. They're quite delicate in the joints, so these might need the old hairdryer treatment first.
Technically a 5-pack, by the way, because these two little characters down here are characters. So, yeah, it's got the 3 neutrinos, but technically 5 unique characters for the display there.
I'm not sure if they even used the hoverboards in the show, because they had the cruiser. I
They
don't know
were
if
in the sewer. I swear there's a scene
They
where
were.
they're surfing on them in the sewer. I think.
I was wondering if they just made them up just to something because they weren't going to give us the car.
Someone in the chat can correct us. Shout out to the chat that we got over nearly 40 people here watching us live. Do the neutrinos use those surfboards within the sort of miniseries? Those original 6 episodes, I think they do. I think they're surfing on them rather than hovering, but I'm sure they'll let us know.
Let's go to the Van Wars. Well, I've got this very tiny van. I've got the Micro Machines or Hot Wheels turtle van, which somebody bought me for Christmas. I just remembered I had a saw in the box. So
Nice.
I was like, ooh, I'll bring that on. So a very, very small turtle product.
So Tanner says the war's begun because he's all in on these turtle vans. What turtle vans, while we're on the subject, have you pre-ordered, Jay?
I've only gone for the NECA animated one is all I've gone for,
Yep.
which I hear they're re-sculpting the roof, and that's why we didn't see any pictures at STCC. So
They're making updates, yes.
yeah, because it was a bit sort of humpy, wasn't it? So I think they're going to flatten it out, I'm assuming.
So we shall see. We won't get that until next year at this point, but it's nice to know it's coming. You've already started to clear the way.
Yeah, I have already started to clear the way. The MCU has made room for an absolute massive expansion of Turtle.
Nice.
Get to. So I brought a friend on too. So I went and found my childhood
Hey!
Leonardo. He's lost his hockey stick, but he can still just about do the action. Oh, he does clip. There you go.
I've got a weird childhood memory about that exact toy, right? My dad used to work away a lot. He used to go around Europe doing whatever he was doing. And when he'd come back, he would always bring me and my brother back a figure. And during the sort of early 90s, obviously turtles were all over the place. And I think he'd come back like really late night once. And he was like, me and my brother were meant to be in bed at the time. But we heard him come back. So instead of being good and just waiting until the next morning to ask him, we crept out of bed and started pestering him in the middle of the night, going, "Can we have our toy? Can we have our toy? Can we have our toy?" And he got so frustrated with us pestering him, he'd literally just give us these figures in the middle of the night just so we'd leave him alone so he could sleep off his jet lag. And one of the figures I had was that exact sort of hockey Leonardo. So I don't know why that memory always sticks with me, but yeah, hockey Leonardo. I remember him well.
Nostalgia, it gets us all. Doesn't it,
again,
really?
yeah, it's weird how those memories just stay with you. I have no idea why, but that's one that stays with me.
I can remember getting rid of all my original stuff back in the purge of buying the PlayStation 1. I remember doing a car boot sale and selling all the toys to buy the PS1. And, well, it was a good decision at the time. But
yeah, I know, yeah. Always regret those decisions.
That's a massive regret. But I do have something vintage. I literally went to the back of the cupboard and I have my original childhood cereal bowl. My turtle cereal bowl. I've still got it. It's still stained. It's still marked. 1990 Mirage Studios, but we still have an official.
Is that what you sit and watch the Fuchs with on a Saturday morning? Watch the Fuchs Weekly. Filled that up with cereal. That's the new Saturday morning routine. But yeah.
Used to be the old Saturday morning cartoon routine of cereal in the morning and all the animated shows.
Tanner, while we're on the retro thing, just for a sec, Jay, do you have any of the retro figures from back in the day?
I've got a couple of retro figures up in the attic. I
Okay.
specifically had that Donatello. I was going to say you guys are making me feel left out now because I didn't actually grab any.
Yeah, we did.
So
To be
the
fair, I
next
didn't
time
tally
we're
them.
on,
Yeah.
next time we're on, I will have a couple of retros. I know I've got the old up there. I've got the old Michelangelo with a sewer shell on his back.
Yeah.
You pull a wire and he used to talk.
The wacky talking
Yeah.
ones. Yeah. I remember.
And I had a Raphael with a hole in his back where you press aside and he'd spin around on a little pivot he had. But yeah, so I'm going to have to hunt them down and for a future stream.
Do you know on the Neca cartoon dio, there's that like billboard? I have this guy just sort of poking out of the billboard as like a little Easter egg in my little display upstairs. So it's like the only retro one on display, but he's in disguise. You'd never know. 1 second, we got a super chat from California Red Devil. Thank you very much.
California
Before I
Red
read that
Devil
out, bet he loves
donated
Donnie.
$9.99. It's the golden age of third party. Fury Toys are making the best looking turtles. If I get the Fury Samurai Bowstaff turtle, technically I didn't buy a Donatello since it's not licensed, right?
Thank you very much, California Red Devil. I appreciate the super chat. He says it's the golden age of the third party. Fury Toys are making the best looking turtles. If I get the Fury Samurai Bow Staff turtle, technically I didn't buy a Donatello since it's not licensed, right? I think he's got me on a technicality there, because technically they can't call him Donatello because it's an unlicensed product, even though we all know in our hearts of hearts it will represent Donatello. So I think you'd be trying to fool yourself, California Red Devil, if you try to pretend that wasn't anyone but the best turtle, aka Donatello. But nice try. I think technically you've got me there, but in our hearts we will know it's Donatello. But you're not wrong. The Fury Toy stuff looks great. I think the Crocodile is nearly out. I've seen some production shots online. It looks epic, but I don't have any of them on order myself. Do any of yous?
I've got the Leo. I started off not wanting it, but then it came around on 5K Toys the second time around, and I'm like, why not?
So is it in hand yet, or is it a pre-order?
No. There's still, I don't know how far it is. So it's not in hand yet. And they also have released pictures of Donatello and Splinter, but neither of those, I haven't seen those up for sale yet at all anywhere. So who knows?
We shall see. I might be tempted to pull the trigger on the Samurai Bowstaff turtle for some reason or another. We shall see. But carry on, Jay. What else you been buying?
Yeah. That's one rabbit hole I haven't fallen, and I haven't gone down the third party. Neverhead and all the other ones.
It's an expensive one for sure.
Here's the rabbit hole then. Here we go. So I said, I think on the very first episode of Turtles and Tea, that, oh no, I don't want SUPER7 Turtles. They represent the toy line. The toy line annoyed me because they didn't look like the cartoon. So what have I done? Of course I've gone back and bought all the figures from SUPER7.
So have you? When you say all the figures, do you really mean you have got all the turtles from SUPER7?
In terms of the turtles, yes, I've got the turtles. So I've gone. I had all I did originally was I saw Shredder in the shop in Forbidden Planet with his eyebrows painted on, and I thought, okay, that is funny. That is what I had as a kid. Okay, I'll get them for the wall. So I got a Shredder. I got the Leo because he's the best turtle. We shan't debate that. I'll move quickly on. And I got Casey Jones and I got a Foot Soldier. So I just had 4 in a line, mint on card on the wall. I thought that's me done. And then now I've gone back. I've got all 4 turtles. Splinter. So I've got all 4 turtles: Splinter, Casey, April, Bebop, Rocksteady, Shredder, Baxter. Let's get about pretty much all the main characters at least. So we've got most of them I've opened, but I haven't got round to opening Raph because he came a bit later.
He's all right, I guess. Raph, I suppose.
I have put Donnie at the front of the display. I thought, right, okay, I'm going to break the habit because Leo always goes to the front. I'll put Donnie at the front. So there's Baxter from Wave 1. So these are the Wave 1 that are still available in Zappy in the sale. So
and for the record, only 4 waves have actually been released so far. There's a few little exclusives, a few glow in the darks, but only 4 waves so far. The 5th wave is due to start shipping this month in September. Well, September, which we're about to go into. So it is, if you are planning on getting on this line, like Jay is, now's the right time to backtrack before it starts getting deeper and deeper, while they're still available as well.
Yeah, that's what I did because I thought if I do change my mind on this, then if I don't do it now, I'll never
Yeah.
be able to do it. So it was that. But Splinter, and I got a couple. Saw the Muckman. I thought I can't resist the
I still
Muckman.
need Muckman. There's like 3 or 4 I still need, and Muckman's on that list. So I need to get him. I see. You said you got him on Amazon, right?
Yeah, Amazon.com for Muckman, and also Mutant Man, who is due tomorrow from Amazon. They ship them separately.
Nice.
So I've backtracked.
Who's your favourite so far from what you've been picking up?
The favourite I've opened is Casey Jones. I think he really does look quite good. It does look. I remember that vintage figure in that green sort of case to keep the weapons in so vividly. So he just looks just like it. He's done it for me. But Muckman, in terms of an actual sculpt, there's so much paint on him as well. Everything is painted, so he does look really good. Now there is a reason I did this.
How people.
So because Neca have now filled that, like, scratched that itch that I always had to have cartoon accurate turtles, and now we've got so many. That's like it's completed that. So I'm like, okay, I've got what I've always wanted. So now I'm getting nostalgic for the toy line that I had as a kid, because it's something different. So it's literally triggered off a whole different nostalgia. Now I'm looking at these reviews, going, oh, I remember that. I've got the other bits satisfied. So yeah.
And that's the magic of Neca and Super7. Neca are cartoon accurate, and Super7 are accurate to the Playmates toy line, and it's hard to decide. Like, it really is. Like, I've tried to avoid Super7 for the longest time, like yourself, but then they just look too good and too nostalgic that I had to start picking them up. And Tanner was way ahead of us. He was all in from the start, I think. But I think I'm still missing a few. But you are just apart from you may be missing a few of the glow in the darks, maybe, but you're all in otherwise.
Yeah, I'm missing a few of the glow in the dark. I got to get on them from start, but I got on like a little bit after Wave 2 release. They released Wave 1 and Wave 2.
Okay.
So I managed to get both of those a little bit cheaper than new because they were on the sale. But Jay, you've gone down this hole and you said you ordered the NECA turtle van. Are we expecting a Super7 turtle van?
Still time, Jay.
Turning at a turn up sometime soon as well. There's roughly the same time as we get ours.
No, I haven't done the van. I still haven't done the van. I've held strong. I have not done the van. The missus is looking at me over there. I have not done the van.
Did she know how much the van is?
She does know how much the van is.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
How much is the van, dear?
I don't know, about 400.
No, it's a bit more than 400.
yeah, 400 is a good number. Yeah, it's that.
About 460, I think. Isn't it?
Close.
No, I haven't done the van. I've only really got room for one shelf of the Ultimates above my other Super7 stuff. So there's no room for a van on that shelf. So
I don't even know if I have room for a van. I have no idea. Like, it's ridiculous. Tanner, do you have room for that van? Because we're all idiots.
At the current moment, I think it'll probably end up going in the storage under my bed.
Yeah,
so
it's
not
crazy.
yet.
It's crazy. We shall see. Again, that is meant to come out by the end of the year, but I still think we're going to see it early 2023 rather than at the end of this year, because there's just been delays on everything. But we shall see. Super chat real quick. Thank you very much. Conic
the Ledgehog donated $4.99. Do any of you collect the comics too? Mirage, IDW, Last Ronin series, CGC slabs?
Thank you very much, Conic the Ledgehog. I like the name. I appreciate the super chat. He asked the question, do any of you guys collect the comics too? Mirage, IDW, the Last Ronin series, or the CGC slabs? So I'll throw that to you. Go on, Jay. You're the first one showing something up. So in regards to the comics and turtles, what do you pick up?
I have got I do collect sort of omnibuses and hardcover comics from Marvel, DC, and Turtles. So I've got the IDW run in hardcover. I've got volumes 1 to 10 of that. The original NECA Mirage series, I've got that complete. The first volume in black and white, and I got the rest in colour. So I've been going back reading them, which obviously gets me excited for the Mirage comic figures. And shout out to Cheeky Monkey. She did buy me from Forbidden Planet Birmingham.
Nice.
When we went out for a trip, we did get the Last Ronin the day it came out. So I'm halfway through. It's absolutely epic. But every different page, you won't give any spoilers, I see, I'm like, oh my God, that's more figures. And then NECA said they're going to go really deep. So that's another shelf
doing
needed.
flashbacks and everything. But yeah, what about you, Tanner, when it comes to the comics?
Yeah, I've been collecting the Turtles comics for a long time. So I've got the original graphic novels of the first run, because the first couple.
Nice.
And a lot of the later Mirage comic stuff. So Volume 2 of Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Volume 4 of TMNT. I'm getting the IDW stuff, but that's purely in graphic novel form. And I've literally got a CGC comic. I don't want to pull it out because it's going to knock everything over.
Okay.
Of the last ever comic released by Mirage Studios that has been signed by Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird. They've done little sketches of Turtles on there as well.
Nice.
I have actually done a picture of it on my Instagram. So I would say, as opposed to me pulling it out and knocking everything over, go on my Instagram, and it's pretty early on, and I'm sure you'll be able to find it there, basically.
So what grade is it?
9.8.
Oh, there you go. That's
9.8.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anything 9 upwards is a win, but 9.8 is well nearly there. So yeah, that's good. I've recently been gifted some of the IDW stuff. I think from Tom, Mini Plastic Multiverse, sent me the first volume of that because I'd never read it. I was aware of the Mirage stuff, of course. Alexa, Jay, go take out the bin. Alexa's just reminded you.
Alexa, stop.
But I've started to dabble in the Last Ronin as well, and obviously more intrigued for that too. But I have no slabs or anything like that. That's a rich man's game. Did that cost you a pretty penny? You don't have to disclose how much, but was it pricey?
No, to be honest with you, they were making an appearance at a con. And at the con, they had a limited number available that was signed, and I managed, luckily enough, just to pick it up from the con. I think at that time, not many people were interested in Volume 4 of the Turtles series by Mirage, so that's why I managed to get it for cheaper than expected, I will say.
Oh, nice, cool. I'm just going to jump real quick to our pages, make sure we're ready to go, but... yeah, I think that's the one I've got, Jay. Is that the first volume of IDW?
Yeah, that's it. They happen to be over by Alexa with my message to take out the bin. So yeah, that's volume 1 of the IDW. So they all have the matching spines, just in different colours. They weren't too bad. They're about sort of 25. You can still get them for retail.
That's the hardback, isn't it? I think I've got the trade paperback.
Yeah, that's the hardback, and that's the hardback of the Mirage stuff, which is in like a pizza box on full pizza on the inside. I think they're harder to find now. I think they're out of print.
That's history right there, isn't it? The original Mirage stuff. I've even got the Turtle Power Ranger crossover in trade paper. So I don't know if there's a hardback of that. I assume there is, but that's getting a second volume as well, I believe. So I don't know when it's coming out, but they have announced there's going to be another volume. But yeah, Turtles started in the comics, and it's always going to be in the comics in some rendition or not. So Last Ronin's like the new modern thing, and Neca are diving all in. So let's use that as an opportunity to jump straight into some toys. But let's not start off with Neca. Let's sort of stay in that rabbit hole that Jay's jumped down recently, and stay with SUPER7, as that's probably the biggest turtle news that's happened recently. So Neca, SUPER7, have finally revealed the 8th Ultimates wave. So wave 8 is as follows. This is it on screen now. We have got the Space Cadet Raphael. So he makes the sort of 4th variant turtle. We've got the Samurai Leo, who is in Wave 5. He's due any time this month, or September even. Then after that, was it Mikey next? Surfer Mike was the next one in Wave 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in Wave 7, we got Punk Donnie. And then obviously Wave 8, now we get the variant of Raphael, which is the Space Cadet Raph. We'll take a closer look at him in a second. We've also got a silver variant of Shredder, which seems pretty underwhelming, but there is a reason for this re-release or repaint. And again, we'll dive into that shortly. We've got the robotic Rocksteady to, of course, accompany the robotic Bebop, who was in Wave 7. So you've obviously got the pair. And I remember having those two in Playmates form, so I am quite tempted by them. And then we've got Genghis Krog, who, when I was a kid, would always bug me, as he was the only frog ever released in the Playmates line. So, like, you couldn't have all 4 of the Punk Toads. You only had him. And I never brought 4 or anything like that. You're looking curiously, Tanner. Was there any more? I don't think there was.
I think they released the second one. I'm fairly certain they did Napoleon as well.
Yeah, they did
but Napoleon
a lot later.
Before.
Well, Genghis was the only one I had, because I remember that the blue sort of Hawaiian top and the sort of lightning, I think it was the lightning bolt chain. But again, we'll look at them now. These are the 4. So as we go through, well, before we go through, let's just get first impression from these guys. So Tanner, obviously you're all in, but are you getting to that stage now if we start getting deeper where you're picking and choosing, or are you just all in instantly?
So with regards to this one, I like the fact that they've currently done the Turtles with different figures from the original toy line. This Shredder, though, come on now. All right, yeah, it's a change of deco, but at least with the Turtles, you've got different figures they're representing. Yes, okay, it can be argued there was a figure with the silver trim. I get that. But come on, change it up a little bit.
We'll get into it. We'll go through these one by one, so we'll get into that. But like overall, all in all, is it a good wave?
Yeah, I think I'll probably get 3 of the 4.
Okay, cool.
I'm giving away which one I'm not getting.
Okay. We'll go through these again individually. But Jay, just first impressions on this. Like as I said, you're playing catch up with the Super 7 stuff. So I'm assuming as they get deeper, you are going to be picking and choosing as well. But what do you think in this wave as a whole?
Definitely be picking and choosing, trying to fit on my one shelf. It's not their greatest wave, I don't think, that they've done so far, which is probably good for the wallet. The metal, sort of the Bebop and Rocksteadies in metal are quite tempting, but say Neca are doing cartoon ones, so maybe I can get one of those sets, but not sure which.
But one would represent the cartoon, Jay, and one would represent the original Playmates toys. They are 2 different variations of representations that you need for your display. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's go through. Okay, so first up, we just talked about him, Ganga's Frog, one of the Punk Toads. Now, I remember having this as a kid. Now, he didn't come with this many accessories as a kid. He definitely didn't have that sort of tongue gun. That's something that Super 7 are taking liberties with. But they are making accessories that could have come out back in the day, I suppose. I really like the crazy head as well. It makes him a little bit gnarly, to be honest. It makes him a little bit villainous with the teeth and the big tongue on show. You've got the bout with like the grenades in. I like that you've got the sunglasses, and you have got that chain there as well, which he was on the original toy, and a surfboard or like a paddle board or something that seems to even be able to attach to his ankle. So let's go through these individually. And Tanner, Ganga's Frog, what do you think?
I like it. It just looks so crazy. I mean, the head where he's got his tongue sticking out looks like, because his pupils are so dilated, he looks like he's gotten high just off of licking himself.
Yeah, he's probably just licked his arm, and that's his impression. Yeah.
So it just looks so batshit crazy. I do like the little boogie board and the tongue gun. That's an interesting accessory to put in. Definitely, I like this one with the sculpting as well. New sculpting. You got all the little bumps and the warts of the on him as well. So much
look at that.
To detail to him there. And needless to say, I will be posing him with the other head. Yeah, just to make it. Yeah, just to get that high as a kite aspect there.
Yeah, you can go crazy with this display because, as I said, we're not going to get all 4. So just have him as a crazy frog in the background. Jay, what do you think?
To be quite honest, he's freaking me out. It's the texture. That texture is actually freaking me out on the figure, which is kind of a reason I might want to buy it. At the moment, I'm looking at it going, texture. I can just imagine it's a bit like Robo and his thing with flocking. I think I've got a thing with textures.
Yeah, it's got a little wash on it as well, though. It does make them pop a little bit.
Yeah, he does look really good though. So I am tempted because I'm thinking maybe one of all the sort of earlier mainline villains. That's kind of what I've gone down. I think he came out quite early in the first couple of years of the line, so he may have to be bought.
Oh yeah. When it comes to Super 7, I thought I was going to create this rule where I'd only buy the figures or the characters that I had as a kid, like the actual toys I remember having. But as they start releasing some characters that I wish I had as a kid, I'm thinking, well, I can buy them now. Like, so as long as the cost of living crisis doesn't bite me too much, then I can still pick up the occasional Super 7. But yeah, Ganga's Frog, I think I need to just for nostalgic sake. Next up, now this, obviously, we already know what Tanner thinks, but I'll throw it straight to Tanner. So this is a straight-up repaint of the Shredder from Wave 2, but it is now in a darker purple. Tanner, you're a big fan, right?
Yeah, the only thing I'm a fan of on this bit is the extra additional head. That does look cool. That's what I will say. But, I mean, I've already given out my opinions on this. The fact that I think it's, compared to, like, the Turtles, which have been redone as different molds, different actual figures, this is kind of like, that is kind of like I'm not all in on this one,
Well,
unfortunately.
as you said at the start, Super7 are reaching here because unlike the Turtles, where they're making fresh variants and brand new sculpted like versions of the Turtles, this is just a straight up repaint of the Wave 2 Shredder with a new head, it seems. And the reason they're justifying it is because back in the day, in the Playmates days, there was a silver and purple variant that you see on screen now of this Shredder that was unreleased, or if it was released, it was limited and it wasn't worldwide. It was like maybe a small portion come out, but it's super rare. There's not many known examples on card. This is from a collector on Instagram. I forgot who it was, but shout out to yourself. This one's actually slabbed and graded. It's in a box, but yeah, so it's a very rare variant that not a lot of people are going to be nostalgic to because not a lot of people had it. Like hardly anybody had it because it was such a rare variant. So it's not really going to have that nostalgic factor for people. It's just going to be one of those where you couldn't buy it when you were a kid, so now you have the opportunity to get that version on the display if you wanted it to. But Super7 are definitely taking liberties to justify the repaint here, but they're not technically wrong either. So it's like
No.
It's genuinely personal preference, but like you said, an opportunity to pick and choose. Jay, what do you think of Shredder?
I didn't know there was a variant. So what I thought they'd done is this was because there was a variant, like the cartoon style one that they did in the original line, but it had the silver chest as well. So I thought, oh, they've done that one. They just not bothered to paint the chest silver. So I thought, well, maybe they had painted it silver. It might be a more tempting. For me, no, because I've got the original release and know it's fine. I can perfectly easily pass on this one. But I suppose if you don't have the original, I'm not sure if it's still hard to get or not. If it is, then I suppose it's an opportunity to get a Shredder, isn't it, for new collectors? Which I suppose is probably the reason they're doing it, because now they're sort of 7 or 8 waves in that maybe you have missed Shredder and need another opportunity. But for me, it doesn't do a lot because it's not really nostalgic.
Yeah, because you're spot on. Basically, they're Super7 have re-released the Turtles a few times now. They've given people the opportunity to get backtrack. But let's be honest, if you're going to think one big bad for the Turtles, Shredder's up there. He is the guy that people are going to want to get. So it is a sort of clever way maybe to get Shredder out there again, but it still be different enough to justify a new release. I actually like the colour palette here. Like, it's a nice looking Shredder. But like you said, we already have the first one. I don't feel like I need to drop the money to get this second one, but it's a nice looking figure all the same. And like Tanner said, if you are going to get this, you can display it with the alternative head. Just going back to Ganga's Frog real quick, few people are saying he did have the tongue gun, but was it one of those guns that wasn't painted? You know, like just one, because I assume in my head I can't picture the gun with the tongue, so I'd have to Google it. But the chat are telling me he did have a weird gun, but I imagine it was one of those like solid bits of plastic where it wasn't painted essentially, so my brain doesn't connect it. But I believe yous. I believe yous is all I'm saying. I can see yous and I believe yous. Moving on to the third one, we have the robotic Rocksteady Bebop. Well, this version obviously is Rocksteady. We've already got Bebop in Wave 7. So this is the Rhino robot. He comes with his translucent shield, his translucent sort of energy sword. He comes with a chainsaw as such. I really like that they come with the blast effects here as well, like the muzzle sort of flashes, and then a gun attachment as well, which I assume will attach on his arm or his shoulder or something. I had these metallic versions as a kid of Bebop and Rocksteady, so I am quite nostalgic for these, and you can't just buy one without the other, so I think I am going to be in on these robotic versions, especially this digital render doesn't really show off the metallicness, but I really do hope that they are metallic. Maybe not so much chrome. Well, maybe. I don't know. What do you think, Tanner? Are they going to be the metallic version I'm thinking of, or are they going to be painted grey?
That's an interesting question. I think with this one, you'll have a little bit that is silver, but it does look quite grey, especially in the shoulder, upper chest area. I got the Bebop anyway, so can't have Bebop without Rocksteady. So yeah. Although I did like the look of Bebop a lot more than I'm liking this one. This one kind of reminds me of like a Voltron, like a Megazord kind of thing as well, with that red chest piece in the middle and the little wings on his shoulders. It just looks off to me. I'm sure it looks exactly like the old old Playmate figure, but it just kind of looks off to me.
I'm trying to think. Super7 had some flack recently because they did the Silverhawks, but they weren't that vac metal silvery chrome. It was just like grey, like a version of grey. So I'm hoping they understand that people don't just want it painted grey. It needs to be, whether it's vac metal or not, it doesn't matter as long as it comes across chrome. Because those original figures were very shiny, like you're holding like a rock steady mirror. So I do hope they're chrome. But again, it's Super7. They again couldn't get the Silverhawks right, so I don't have a high hope for these. We're gonna have to wait until we see actual in-hand shots, because the product shots, if I jump back real quick, he does look vac metalized and he does look more shiny than those Silverhawk figures. So let's hope that they get it right. But Jay, what do you think of the robotic Rocksteady?
Yeah, quickly back to Genghis Frog. I've had a quick Google. Yeah, the tongue gun was unpainted. It was a solid blue.
Yeah, that's what I just grabbed the picture myself as you brought that up. So there it is on screen now. So yeah, like I said, I couldn't picture the tongue gun as a kid because it wasn't painted as a tongue. So as a kid, I didn't realise it was a tongue gun. I just thought it was a gun with a big blob sticking out of it. But now I know it's a tongue gun because Super7 have painted it. But yeah, I was right. It wasn't painted. But it was there. The chat was right. So everybody's right. Everybody wins. 10 points all round. But yes, back to Rocksteady.
Thanks for Rocksteady. Yeah, with the Silverhawks, they said because they were basing them on the animated series is why they weren't like back metalized and chromed and shiny, because they were supposed to look like that. So there's probably still a little bit of hope here for some more shiny. For me, yeah, I think it is going to come down to actually the shine on this one, whether to potentially go for these or to go for the other versions from Neca. I don't think I need both robotic versions. He says confidently when he knows he'll probably end up with both.
Well, Mike Hex in the chat, shout out Mike. He's actually picked up the Rocksteady and Bebop robotic cartoon versions for me, as he creates a little pile of loot in the US for me. So I will be getting the cartoon versions, but they did appear in the cartoon, so like it justifies that. And then I had these as a kid, so it justifies that. It's like it's very easy for me to find justification in my toy buying purchases, but I do like. But like you said, it has to be that sort of chrome. I know we've got that promo image. I'm trying to think if we've got any more promo images. It does look pretty chrome there.
Like, it does look shiny, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
Definitely not vac metal, but it does look like it at least reflects the light. Yeah. So you do get a nice. And they are so big. They must be at least as big as the other Bebop and Rocksteady. And now I've got those in hand. They are absolutely huge.
Yeah.
So they would look good on the shelf. I think this one's a little more expensive because they've now got a sort of semi-deluxe price point on the bigger figures as well.
This will be a Paint Master, I'm sure. So the Paint Master has to sort of lead what production's going to be. So if it's this shiny, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It doesn't have to be vac metal, but it has to be shiny. It can't be a flat grey, is what I'm saying. It can't just be a grey robot. It has to have that metallic glint to it. So yeah.
I also think that the way Bebop comes, because he's in the wave before, will be a huge giveaway as to how Rocksteady will be. So I know there was quite a few promo pictures for Bebop. Surely, if you can kind of work it out from those pictures as well, because you're not going to have one in the shiny silver vac metal style and the other one like grey. They
completely agree.
Too different. Yeah,
completely agree. They will be the same. So you're right. We'll find out way before this comes out what we're getting because of Bebop. So yeah, we should. I just want it to be shiny. That's all. As I said, this line is about being accurate to the toy line, but spruced up for the modern collector or for the adult collector. So I like all the accessories here. I think it's going to make him a lot more fun to pose, especially with the muzzle flares and stuff like that. But yeah, it's got to be shiny. So the last one is of course Raphael. Raphael, the Space Cadet, was probably the first Raphael variant, I think, back in the Playmates days. So he comes with the space helmet. He comes with like some new helmet that the Playmates toy didn't come with, like a sort of Stormtrooper-esque, if you will. Then he also has a flag with pizza on it to plant on the moon, I assume. And he also has a little alien friend, which, again, I can't remember if it came with a Playmates toy or not, but it's there all the same. It makes such a difference when these accessories are painted, so you can actually see what they were. Because as a kid, you just don't know you don't know.
I think they said the alien was like sculpted on the leg or something of the figure in the original figures. They've made it as a separate separate character.
Oh,
Yeah, I like it.
interesting.
Yeah, because back in the day, the accessories came on like a little plastic sprue, didn't they? Like you'd lose them or you wouldn't know what they were. So when they're all painted, it makes such a difference. But he has his size, of course, that look like laser size. Again, a bit of Star Wars theme here. They look like lightsaber thighs with his Stormtrooper helmet. But I'll throw it to the person who may think Raphael is the best turtle. Now, whether he's right or wrong is up to you to decide. But, Tanner, what do you think of Raph?
Before I go into it, how is the poll looking at the moment?
Okay,
Because I haven't been able to vote in it myself.
Okay, there is a poll live right now for the chat, okay? So if you are watching live right now, there's over 60 of you watching live. We do have a poll in the chat with over 77 votes so far. So far, with 35%, Leonardo is the favourite. So I think Jay's been influencing. Jay's our special guest today, and he's clearly had some influence on the poll. Maybe it was that hockey Leonardo that brought everyone's nostalgia back. But Leonardo is currently in the lead with 35%. Michelangelo and Raphael are in joint second place with 26%. And then, obviously, they're just trying to make a joke out of me here in the chat on my own bloody live stream because Donatello only has 14% of the vote. Come on, chat. Why do you always do this to me?
Oh, they've branded the stream.
Why do you always do this to me? You just go against the grain. Come on now, people. Donatello deserves your vote. I don't need to say any more. But anyway, back to Space Wrath.
Back to Space Wrath. I mean, I like it. Again, I'm getting very like you Stormtrooper vibes, just with that helmet. But with the communicator on his arm, also kind of like, because the movie came out earlier this year, a Buzz Lightyear kind of vibe, with his communicator on his arm, just ready to go out into space with this helmet on.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, you got two different ways to pose him with the bubble helmet and the actual Stormtrooper helmet. The cool accessories as well as the size. Yeah, I'm a fan of this one, and of course the fact that it's my favourite turtle gives it away that I'm all in for this one. Yeah, 100%.
There he is with the space helmet on, which is how I would like to display him myself. But I love the idea of the variant turtles. That's what the magic of Playmates was back in the day, is that they would constantly make variants of the turtles, and they got wacky. They got crazy after time, but some of the original ones were pretty fun, and I like that we're going to have the Samurai Leo, we're going to have the Punk Donnie, the Surfer Mike, and Space Wrath. Like, that's going to be a nice little foursome for the display to pull out a nostalgic heartstrings. Jay, do you agree? Do you like the Space Cadet Wrath?
I do, yeah, I really like this one. This is probably my favourite from the wave. I love the sort of alternate Stormtrooper helmet. It also looks like the Shockmaster from WCW helmet when you fall through the stage. They're definitely lightsabers, aren't they? It looks like Obi-Wan's hilt with some size coming out of it.
He's part of the dark side as well. They're red. They're red. He's evil.
I'm very tempted by this. I was thinking, am I wrong? Or are the original four the Samurai Leo, the Space Wrath, the Sewer Surfer Mikey, and then the disguised Donatello?
Yes, I think they were the original four variants. Yes.
So they've missed Donnie, or have I gone mad?
No, they've basically switched Donnie for a different variant. They're switching for the Punk Donnie, but the disguised Donnie was definitely the first variant, at least from my memory. But again, the chat are constantly correcting me. Here's the original Playmates figure bar. I just wanted to zoom in on the leg to see if there was a sculpted alien, but you can't really see. Again, none of the accessories are painted. So as a kid, you don't see those details. But he did have the helmet on, like the new one. But I cannot see any alien. Maybe it's on the back of the figure, maybe?
I'm sure I saw Kyle on one of the streams of Super7 saying there was something on it that they've sculpted off into the alien figure.
But that, obviously, let's go to the box image. So this is obviously the remake of that, and it's beautiful. But yeah, the chat's going to have to correct me. Like, I do believe that this guy here, the disguised Donnie, was the first variant, and the Punk Donnie came after. But for some reason, Super7 have done like the exclusive disguised Raphael at Big Bad Toy Store, even though this guy should have been in disguise. I'm very confused of what Super7's thought process was.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about, maybe I should get one each disguised turtle to go on the shelf as well. And if I would, I'd probably get the original four. So, but I do really like the Punk Donnie. Out of the ones they've done, Punk Donnie, I think actually looks best.
I think he's more toyetic. I think he's more toyetic than a in disguise Donnie. So I'm not mad at him for doing Punk Donnie, to be fair. But like they could have easily have released maybe one in disguise turtle, maybe not showed off if he's wearing a jacket or something, not showed off the elbow pads and the knee pads, and just gave us 4 interchangeable heads type thing, so you could display any turtle you wanted in a disguise sort of outfit. But obviously this guy's got the purple, like he didn't disguise it very well because he's still got his elbow pads and knee pads in purple. But maybe there could have been a way to do it otherwise. But
they may make 4 completely separate releases, one for each turtle. I mean, it's a toy business company.
You're not wrong. That's what they're going to do. You're not wrong. That is exactly.
Looking for a Hockey Leo as well. Some point down the line, that'll have to be mint on cards on the wall.
Yeah, I'd be the same. And the slam dunk Donny as well. So yeah, I'm in for some of the sports stuff. But while we're talking retro, that perfectly leads us to some retro releases. So Playmates, instead of being like Neca and SUPER7 and making new versions of the Turtles, they are literally just going back to the well of the 90s and re-releasing some of their older molds on that nostalgic packaging. And they've done so with 3 sets recently. So this one in the UK is an Amazon exclusive. You can order this on Amazon right now in the UK. And it's basically the Toon Turtles, where each one of these had like a weird gimmick on them, where if you press the back of their head, something happened. I think if we've got a look here, I think the eyes pop out of Donnie, maybe a tongue comes out for someone else. But these are just retro figures on that retro packaging, very nostalgic, and they are available for pre-order right now on Amazon UK, I believe. The US have started to get them in, or the pre-orders went up in the US. But I also wanted to show off these as well. These were on pre-order on Walmart, and they've already started to ship. People have got these in hand now. These are the Sewer Turtle bundle, and again, they are reissues of the variants from back in the day, but these are the turtle like superhero variants. So we've got the Dark Donnie, Donatello up there, and we're about to get the SUPER7 one based on the cartoon, but this is obviously the version that came out as a toy. I think that's Mikey as well. No, is that Raph or Mike? It's Mikey, I think, as a superhero as well. And then you got Rocksteady and
Turtle Titan, I think his name was.
Yeah, but he's orange, right? That's got to be.
Yeah, it's Mikey. It's Mikey. I think the superhero name was Turtle Titan.
Oh, okay, yeah. So okay, cool. So then you've got Rocksteady and Bebop down there as well. Again, just nostalgic releases on the old card back, and they come in like a fancy sort of box. It was on Walmart.com, but as you can see, it's sold out on Walmart.com. So I didn't manage to get one, but I hope to get one if they ever appear in the UK. For some reason, Playmates don't like the UK, so I'm just throwing this out there to my American friends. If you want that nostalgic flavour, then you can get some of these sets. And there's one more, and this one again you can order on Amazon US right now, and I also think that it's on sale on Amazon US right now. Maybe I can click the link. Yeah, it's in stock right now on Amazon US. It's $44, and it's basically 4 of the villains as such, even though Muckman wasn't technically a villain, but it is Muckman, Leatherhead, a Foot Soldier, and Wingnut and Screwloose in their original Playmates form. Now I've seen Geek Dad Live, shout out Geek Dad Live, he's brought this and did a review, and apparently the Mutagen Man, I said Muckman, I meant Mutagen Man, is like missing some of his accessories, which is annoying. So the only accessory he comes with is his tube, but he doesn't have like the piece to plug the tube into. It's a bit weird, so it's like a re-release of the original toy, but missing pieces. You even miss the bits that cause you fill him up with water and you have to put bits in, but he's missing all the fun bits. So people were frustrated with this re-release, but if you're going to keep it mint on card just for a wall display, then it's still a pretty good opportunity to get it at a decent price. $44 makes these about 10 something each, so
11,
so not bad. I may be tempted to get some of these, so I did pick up some of the old retro cards, but they're just hard to get in the UK. But because this is on Amazon US, it's available. So there's 4 there on Amazon US, there's 4 there on Walmart, and then there's 4 there that are available in the US. I believe maybe Target. I was looking on Toy Arc, and they've went up for pre-order somewhere. But you guys in the chat can tell me. But my point is, if you're into that nostalgic retro carded stuff, then Playmates are re-releasing a lot of their old Playmates figures. Now, the accessories may be a little bit funky or may not be exactly what you got from back in the day, but there are plenty there to choose from. Just throwing it to you guys, because I'm not too... as I said, Tanner, you said you got some retro stuff in the attic. Does it tempt you to go back and get any of that retro stuff, just to keep on card, just for nostalgic sake?
Now, the only ones I have picked up a couple of things. So the only ones I have picked up were the original 4 turtles on the card back that were made in the UK. The turtle van itself from Playmates, which is there was a picture of it going up to like $10 somewhere, which I saw online.
In
I'm
Walmart.
like,
Why is that never us? That's why I'm jealous of US sometimes.
Yeah.
We get Legends early, but I'd rather find bargains like that in Walmart.
Mm-hmm. And the turtle blink, which I forgot to mention earlier, that did come in the past month. So, yeah, I think I will pretty much stick to just the turtles and those 2 vehicles with regards to that. So that'll be pretty much me done for the retro line, and they will more than likely, well, the turtles at least will stay on card. The vehicles, we'll see how I feel when I get them in hand.
I was in Forbidden Planet just last week, and you could buy all 4 of the turtles on the original card back. Absolutely insane. I know they've been like that for a while in America, but we never got them in the UK until now. Like, we're like a year behind for some reason. But it was crazy nostalgic to see those original turtles on that original card back, like in a shop to buy right now for like £13, which is pretty good. Even though back in the day they were probably a couple of quid, but still, it's nice to see all the same. And yeah, I keep telling Tanner he needs to blow up the turtle blimp with helium and display it in his room, but he's refusing so far.
Around the room on the lamp.
Just stick an actual. Do you know one of those face fans you get when you're on a plane? You just one of those. You sellotape a couple of them to the back of it, and you just let it float around.
Just connect it by string to the light that's up there. So it just flies around the light.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. What about you, Jay, with the retro stuff? Does it tempt you to keep on card?
It didn't, but until about 2 minutes ago when I had an idea.
Go on. What's your idea? Brainstorm with us.
I've also seen the original 4 turtles. I think they're on Kapow Toys in the card. And now I've got the SUPER7. I'm thinking, right, can I just on the ceiling above it get all 4 turtles mint on card just behind the new version? She's looking at me like, you're not doing that. They're only £12 each here. Don't panic.
They are cheap. They're cheap and they're fun and they're super nostalgic. I'm just going to look on Kapow Toys. So, was that recent, Jay? You seen that?
I'm sure it was. Yeah, I'm sure I've seen them recently. There was a.
I'll tell you what, Jay. As I'm coming around yours on the weekend, I'll swing by somewhere, see if they're in stock, and pick them up for you.
There you go. Then Kiara can't move.
What a lad he is.
I'm looking now. I'm having a scroll. I can't find them on Kapow.
I like the collector's boxes these 4 sets. I think they do look really good in the box. I've also seen a Geek Dad Live video. Yeah, the Mutagen Man's missing the yellow thing on his back that you plug the plug bits into, so he wasn't particularly impressed with that. They do look hard though, don't they? Yeah.
It's just, again, they're just like, I had an idea of a display like you, where you'd have the original Playmates one with like the SUPER7's one standing next to them maybe, and like that would be a display within itself. But it's all about real estate, isn't it? How much room have we actually got to display these things? I'm just going to look on Forbidden Planet in the UK just to see if I can find them. Because they were definitely in store, but I've not seen them online. But I'm looking now, so I'm just having a quick scroll. So far I can't see them, but I promise you they were definitely in Forbidden Planet. I've seen them with my own eyes. But yeah, they're about £12. They were on Amazon for a little bit as well, but I can't find them now. But yeah, those 4 turtles, I think if you're going to get any on card, has to be the 4 turtles. Has to be. But yeah, nice little. It's nice to go back. I love the retro cards. I love the nostalgicness. You know, I love it with my Legends, but just as much with the turtles. I just need a hexagon house. That's all I need. I need more walls. 4 is not enough.
Need to block that window.
Oh, no, yeah. I just get some plaster. We'll do the Jay's Toys Collection DIY. Again, it's a wasted. Look at that wasted window. I don't need that. I don't need daylight. Yeah, maybe I will. I don't know if Amanda would let me get away with that, to be fair. But okay, I'm just looking at the chat real quick. People are also liking the nostalgic stuff. If anyone in the US, by the way, can help me somehow get the superhero set It's sold out on Walmart, but I don't know if they're going to turn up in store. Like, I have no idea. I have no more information. I'm hoping someone in the chat can help. But it says they're sold out online. But are they going to be in store? I don't know. If they are, they're packed in a box that looks like this. Like, that's the box they're packed in, and you get all 4 figures in that little carry case. So if you're in Walmart and you see this, think of your friends Dan, Tanner, and Jay, because we may be interested. All right, so hit us up. Yeah, there you go. Nostalgic flavor all the same. Okay, what's up next? Let's have a quick scroll of what I've got going. Okay, let's get into some Neca now. We talked SUPER7, we talked retro. Let's get into some Neca. Now, Neca revealed a lot of stuff at San Diego Comic-Con, as we know. So there hasn't been much news, but they did do a panel at PowerCon, I think, which is Masters of the Universe, I believe. Or no, He-Man? That's the same thing, isn't it? Anyway, PowerCon. Yeah, they did an event, and they actually showed off an image of the sewer dio attaching to the street scene, because a lot of us were asking that same question. Was like, how big is it? Like, does it actually attach? Because we've seen the size in the display at San Diego Comic-Con, but there was a shelf in between the street and the dio, so you didn't know if it actually attached or not. But it seems like we now have an answer. I'm just grabbing the image now, because they released this picture of the living room dio set with the scene on top, the street scene literally resting on top. So now we have a much better idea of scale. So yeah, I'm gonna have to start getting my tape measure out, and I don't. Not only do I need a hexagon house, I also need to extend. I'm gonna have the most unique house on the street, because I'm gonna have an hexagon house that's just super tall to display all the figures how I want to in my brain. But this is more like it. This is what I'm excited to see. It makes me think though. There's got the kitchen. So I need a piece of road for the kitchen, and then I need another street scene for Donnie's lab, so they all connect. Like, it just makes me think, what else are they going to do? Or at least maybe are they going to re-release the city scene? So Tanner, what do you think? Are they going to re-release the city dio so we have more options? And do you like this? Do you have room for it? Do you want this in your display? What do you think?
So with regards to this, I like the fact that it connects. I like the fact that it's also got the holes on the side. You can go from one room to the other. It looks really, really nice as well. Now, it's a case of, is it just a case of it actually connects, or is it just resting on top?
Yeah, it looks like it's resting.
How easy would it be just to knock it off, so to say, is what is going through my mind. Because I know I can be quite heavy-handed at times, and if I accidentally tap it, I don't want it to fall down and everything go everywhere. With regards to re-releasing the cartoon dios, they got their generic dios as well. It's a slightly different deco, but you can fudge it in. It does kind of work, not exactly.
You're speaking like a man that has 2 turtle cartoon dios. That's why you're saying that. I have both, and I refuse to display my cartoon ones on the street one. It doesn't look right. It needs that cartoon flair.
Yeah, it's a case of I would agree with you, but if it's a case of they're not going to release it, then you got to make do somehow.
Squint my eyes and just pretend.
I can answer that question.
Go on, Jay. Is that what you're doing now?
No, in the PowerCon panel, they did say they are re-releasing the cartoon dio to Walmart next year as part of the because there's a lot of Turtles films and things coming out. It can be quite a heavy Turtle focus year. So in that blurb somewhere, they did mention that they are re-releasing the dio next year.
No, so again, it probably does say here somewhere. Okay, yeah, so they're not saying Neca themselves are doing the product for the movie, but the Target will be carrying the TMNT more in general, which would include the cartoon dio. So there you go. It does say on this is on TNI Toy News, so it does say we will get a second opportunity to buy the cartoon dio. Because I like the way it was displayed at San Diego Comic-Con with the 2 dios and then the 2 sort of things underneath. We just need a piece of road. We just need a piece of road that connects above the kitchen, because the kitchen's shorter, isn't it? So if we get like just a street road, I don't know what they're gonna do, but it needs to connect anyway, is what I'm saying. So
I'll tell you what else they can do if they do like the road piece, or if they do re-release it. With the fact that you've got the holes on the side, you can go from room to room. What about the sewer manhole on the top so they can go out onto the street?
Exactly. So what they need an extra piece.
Great
Just need
idea.
a piece of road with a manhole in it, and then you can sort of be modular and buy multiple to have on either side and do whatever you want. Like, yeah, it needs to be modular. We need to be able to build a modular Toon City for our turtles. Now, again, I think space is going to be our enemy here, gentlemen. But don't worry, you can all live in my very tall hexagon house, and we can all display our turtle streets how we wish. But what do you think, Jay, of the Dio and it sitting on this? Now, you've already started rearranging the room, so have you got room for this as well?
Yes, I can fit all the dios in. The whole room's been rearranged deliberately to fit all the dios in. So the MCUs had to be sacrificed, apart from Spider-Man stuff and some classic stuff I can't get rid of. But that sacrificed the space. I blocked the window to move other collections into the window, so I've got a whole unit where I can stack. I could literally stack all of them on top of each other if I needed to, or I can go across if that works. We've got room, so
Nice. Yeah.
this.
You're prepared. You're a prepared man. Like, as I said, I need to start figuring out a way. But it will be epic. Like, honestly, it will be epic when it's all said and done. This is the type of stuff we wish we had as a kid. As a kid, I had the sewer dio. I remember like the swing and the little the little green sort of tunnels that you would build and stuff like that. But this is what it's all about. This is what we wanted. The Toon accurate sewer layer. And like Tanner said, it's going to be modular in regards to those circles are hollow, so you can attach things to it or buy multiple. Because all the accessories in them are going to be removable and interchangeable. So if you brought two of these and just took out all the accessories, you could create a bedroom or whatever you wanted to do for the turtles. Like, as I said, they're essentially modular. Do what you want with them, but it's going to be very fun when they do eventually do that. So let's stay with Neca and move into some teases, all right? So this isn't official. This is just the internet doing what the internet does and doing like some deep diving, zooming in, enhancing, and trying to figure out if there's any clues. So Neca recently was just in a magazine talking about their new Gargoyles line, and they were showing off this new Gargoyles figure. But people didn't seem too bothered about the Gargoyles figure because they were zooming in at what's behind the Gargoyles figure. So Nobody Neca on Instagram, shout out yourself, he's put these posts together which he thinks are clues to the future of the Neca toy line, okay? So let's have a look. The first panel reveals this sort of heavy-set fellow behind the wings, definitely in the style of the cartoon Turtles, and he's also took some screen grabs from the cartoon that reveals it's one of Rocksteady and Bebop's gang mates. What's he called, Tanner?
A Dumbo.
Dumbo.
Like the flying elephant.
Okay.
But not quite an elephant. Actually, you know what? It'd be quite apt if instead of a dog, he turned into an elephant. But
a Dumbo would have been
it is what it
perfect
is.
for that. You're right. But Disney might have been knocking on their door. But even still, we know we're getting Scrag as the fourth figure of the Loot Crate. So there's another character. And we know with Scrag we're getting the interchangeable bat head and the human head. We know we've got humans now. We've all got shipping notices, right, on our NECA San Diego Comic-Con sets for the Mutagen, sort of pre-Mutagen set. So we know we're going to get human versions of Rocksteady and Bebop. So this sort of looks like it could be right. Like, what do you think, Jay? Does it look like it's spot on for Dumbo here?
It looked spot on to me, which has given me serious sort of FOMO because I didn't get all the loot crates, so I haven't got Scrag coming.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Good luck to you on the aftermarket with that one. Mate, to be fair, I did go for all four in the loot crate, and even I don't know if I've got Scrag coming. That's how much of a mess loot crate is, so I wouldn't even worry too much yet. I wouldn't get FOMO until people start actually having it in hand. Talking about Loot Crate, I haven't got any images to show, but there were some leaked images online of the Dark Turtle and of the robot shark from the game.
Oh, Armagon.
Armagon, yeah.
Armagon.
He does look pretty good. I'm not into any of the arcade stuff myself, but he does look pretty good. But I went all in on them, so hopefully they get here eventually. But we now have another gang member to join. But how's he going to be released? Like, he's not a desirable character that he's going to be in one, like, just a single pack. So everyone wants a deluxe Dumbo. He's going to have to be with someone desirable, I think. Any guesses, Tanner?
I don't know. Maybe if you have... I'm trying to think of who... Because you had the woman from the gang as well. I think her name was Bertha or something like that. I'm not... Even so, the two of them together...
Still not desirable, yeah.
Yeah, it's still not desirable, only for the thing. I just hope this isn't part of a Loot Crate Wave 3 that may be coming down the line.
Hopefully they've learnt their lesson, hopefully.
Because if this one, if again, if you look at the Scrag came with Loot Crate Wave 2, generally the Loot Crate figures are the lesser desired ones. No offense to the Dark Turtle Donny. He's probably the most desired out of all of them. And Spirit of Splinter as well. Those two are the most desired out of all of them. But it's the case of generally they're not as desirable figures. I can see this, as much as I don't want to say it, being part of a Loot Crate Wave 3.
I hope not. Greg in the chat says, what if it's part of a multi-pack human gang, which would be interesting to see. Do you have any ideas, Jay?
I don't. I'm going to consult the Neca t-shirt.
Have a look. Have a little look for us.
I did notice earlier there is a human Bebop and Rocksteady there, but they look like they're in potato suits or something.
Maybe we could get variants, yeah.
So maybe they could be variants, and there's going to be another box set that isn't Comic-Con that they're going to do again with that.
I think they're dressed as peanuts or something like that, maybe. I
don't
can't
know. It looks like giant poos. It could be.
turd disguises. But anyway, there's the first. If we don't, by the way, this is just speculation and innuendo. We don't have a clue if this is right or wrong, but it does look pretty accurate. It does look toonified like the cartoon line is. It has that aesthetic, and there is a character that it matches in the cartoon. So it's a good guess from me. Well, not from me, from Nobody Neca, but I agree with him is what I'm saying. I also think this is a good guess as well. So behind the gargoyle, you can see some legs in the background. And those legs resemble the same legs that we get on Rex 1. Now, that could just be a Rex 1 behind that. And just think, it is a picture of a Neca desk somewhere, some pre-production desk. So that could just be a prototype Rex 1, an unpainted Rex 1, or an early Paint Master Rex 1. We don't know. However, let's just let our imaginations go wild, because like the image shows on screen, and that Neca nobody noticed, there is an evil version of Rex 1 that was like an army builder within the show that's a little bit of a darker tone, which match the colours and the legs of that Rex 1 in the background. So Tanner, is that a stretch, or do you reckon it looks legit?
I reckon it's going to be legit, to be honest with you. I can see it being both, but the colour scheme is very close to these evil Rex 1s. The fact that Rex 1 is on its way, you don't even need to change much to make these evil Rex 1s. So even if it isn't, I think it'll be coming down the line. It will just be a repaint. Why not? Because it's the exact same, and we'll snap them up because it's because they're army builders as well. So you can have like a little showdown scene of Rex versus the evil Rexes, like one on like 3 or 4. Yeah. It's quite cool.
Now they've made Rex. We know he's coming. Like, he's going to be a deluxe figure. They've already announced, said that, showed him off at Comic-Con. So that mold, if there's a way to get reuse out of it, they're probably going to do it. So it seems likely. Do you agree, Jay?
I do, which is making me think these all could be part of Loot Crate 3, couldn't they? You've just seen this is another one, and then, or they don't usually do they do store it? I know the line is like store exclusive in America, but there's no Pacific like big bad toy store versions, is there?
No, it's all Neca. It's all Target. Sorry, the toon line is exclusive to Target.
So I guess this is Haulathon again, or.
Which is, I hope not, but we're going to get into that because Target are playing their games again, and we'll tell you why. But yeah, could be Rex 1, we shall see. Next up, a bit of a bigger stretch, but it could be. We do know that there's a little anniversary coming up for the beloved third Turtles movie. Now, I obviously sarcastically say beloved. Now, I was a kid watching these films, and obviously at the time, I didn't care too much. I liked the film. As you get older, you sort of realise, okay, maybe it doesn't hold up as well. But I had all the toys as a kid. I had all the Samurai Turtles as a kid. I remember that. And we have never had movie-accurate versions of the third film. We have had Secret of the Ooze, of course. Those pre-orders have come and gone. And next year, could they be giving like Samurai Turtles in movie form? I think it's inevitable that NECA go there. It is inevitable. So whether this is a direct link to these Samurai Turtles, I don't know. But NECA are going to get there is what I think. Tanner, any thoughts on the Samurai Turtle tease, possibly?
Yeah, I can see it happening as well as a 4-pack. But it depends on how deep they go. Well, how deep they can go with Secret of the Ooze. Because it's a case of they're getting to a lot of it quite quickly now. Aside from like a Vanilla Ice and his backup dancers 4-pack, which would just be mad. And what's his name? Shredder's number 2. I forget his name.
I thought they were struggling to get his likeness or something
Yeah,
like that.
if they manage, if those are the only two that, and the new April as well. Aside from those three, I can't think of many more other figures that can come out of from that particular movie.
You were talking about April, weren't you? Jugas Ho, who
Yeah.
plays April in the first movie. The April who's in the second movie actually comes
Is
back
someone
for
different.
the third. So she played April in the live action series way more than Judith Ho. So surely she's looking at Neca going, hang on a minute, Neca. Where's my phone call? Where's my piece of the pie? So yeah, maybe she's coming out. And then you could do a samurai version of her. There was a couple of samurai characters in the film as well. I swear I had like a horse. And that sounds stupid, but I had like a horse in the Playmates days of this
When
film.
they first got to feudal Japan, they came in riding on horses. So even though who was riding it backwards? I think Michelangelo was riding it.
That's a Mikey
backwards.
move all day long, isn't it? That is.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll probably, out of the third movie, only just get the tails as opposed to going full-fledged everything like I've done with the other two.
That was my next question for you. It's like, if they do the Samurai Turtles, just a yes or no, would you get them? And I think you just answered yes.
Yeah. Just the Samurai Turtles.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Jay, what about yourself? If the Samurai Turtles come to fruition, like this tease suggests, is that something that you'd want to get?
Please no, just no. I hated that movie as a kid. Absolutely hated it. And I rewatched it recently, and it's even worse. I couldn't get through the thing.
Yeah, it's hard now.
Then I kind of probably would buy the figures though. So please don't do it to me, Neca.
Yeah, we've got problems, haven't we? Let's be honest. And then the last sort of tease was another movie-related tease. Now, in the back, behind the arm there, so the arm is not the tease. You've got to look past that gargoyle arm. And in the background is like an unpainted, like sort of stockier, sort of more chunky foot soldier, if you will. Now, if you look back to the Secret of the Use, there were a couple of different varying foot soldiers. They weren't all just skinny guys. So is it a stockier foot soldier? What do you think, Jay? Do you reckon it's a different foot soldier, or is it just an unpainted thing? Or are we looking too deep into this?
The torso looks different, doesn't it? It does look different. So I could always go for more foot soldiers. So yeah, that would be quite good if it was. Okay, yeah, it does look. I'm a good look at it. The torso does seem different. Yeah, in the stomach region.
Yeah. What do you think, Tanner? Stockier foot soldier?
Yeah, I mean, I can either see it being one of two things. The stocky foot soldier, just like a little heavy set guy in like a training video, or out of left field, if we revisit the first movie where Casey Jones went undercover as a foot soldier. Now he's a little bit, because they're kids in the first movie and he's a fully fledged adult, a lot more bulky build. Maybe could it be a Casey foot soldier undercover?
They've got the likeness of his head now, so they may just want another opportunity to use that somewhere, maybe. I don't know. You could be. You're not wrong. There's definitely... The foot soldiers look very similar between the two movies, so we shall see. We shall see.
But the third movie as well, wasn't it? I discovered the other day when I was rewatching it.
That's my point. The foot soldiers, like Jay said, you could always have more foot soldiers. It's like the army builder of the Turtles, isn't it? So we shall see. But they're the teasers.
What I will say about that last picture, though, is it seems kind of strategic that only really his head is covered, so you can't quite work out who or what it is.
Yeah,
I think it's...
That picture, it's like Neca wanted us to do some deep diving on that picture. But shout out to Nobody Neca on Instagram. That's his tag on Instagram, Nobody Neca, or Neca Nobody, sorry, Neca Nobody. He was the person that put all those images together. That wasn't me. He was the one enhancing. We were just speculating along with him. But bravo, I think he's done a pretty good job. Now, someone earlier mentioned that dirty word that I don't like, Haulathon. Don't like it. I don't like the word. It was never good to me. It wasn't kind to the UK collector. I don't care that things were made available for international. Not at those prices, they are not. Even I have my limits. And the Haulathon sort of, what was it? Is it costumes.com, I think it's called?
Yeah.
The UK shipping prices were a joke, like unacceptable. Like I have friends ship me stuff from the US all the time. I understand it's coming across the other side of the planet. You got to pay a hefty price. I understand. I'm willing, but they were like extortionate prices for shipping. Like, it just didn't make sense. So I just backed out. I refused. And then even the stuff I did want, and you couldn't get anyway. Hall of Fun was an absolute nightmare. I didn't like the thing. But Neca are back at it with a new event now this month. And it's called Target Geek Fallout. So I'll get the image up now. So Target Geek Fallout only at Target, where every week for the next 5 weeks in September and I think the first week of October, some exclusive product are going to be made available online and in store at Target for Neca. And as you can see here, the 2nd of September and the 9th of September are both Neca and we assume turtle products, right? So this is going to be a second opportunity to get figures that were previously harder to get, whether they were harder to get in store or only available via the Neca store itself, okay? Some stuff hasn't even hit retail yet. So let's quickly go through some of these to see what your second chances are, okay? So again, screen grab these pictures because they have the links to the pages on the Neca store, on the Target store, ready to go with barcodes, all right? So
before you do that, sorry,
yeah,
I know you brought up the first one. I think Neca's missed the trick with this name, as opposed to calling it Geek, Full Geek Out. Going back to Haulathon, why not call it Faulathon?
Because we are the fools buying this product constantly. So we're the fools, Tanner. We're the fools. But let me quickly go through what they're re-releasing, then we can discuss what we actually want from it. So first up, you're getting the Bride April, which was only made available on the Neca store previously. It has already started to show up in store. So if you're in the US watching this, go and check Target. If you're after this, it may be in stock right now, or screenshot to get yourself the barcode. Next up, Usagi Yojimbo. Now, again, only previously available on the Neca store. That is how all three of us have him in hand. Where's mine? There he is. There he is. So we all have it in hand already, right? But if you missed out or get FOMO, then you do have an opportunity to get him again. He will be available online. You can see the Target page link holder there and the barcode. And I've seen people already on Twitter and Instagram picking him up in store, okay? So don't sleep on Usagi, people. Honestly, one of the best in the Turtle line so far. Next up, this is the one I want. This is the big one. Toka and Razor, the cartoon 2-pack, was a myth. It was like, I don't even know if this thing existed. It's like unicorn shit. I don't even know if it exists. It was hard to get. We couldn't see it. Toy Bro got one. He did a review, but that man probably has the best Target in the country. He has everything. But there was no way for us in the UK to get this, right? Because it never even hit online. It just instantly disappeared from the online store. Nobody had a chance to buy it, even if you were willing to bite the bullet and pay for those extortionate shipping prices. No one in the UK has this. We need this, and apparently you're going to have a second chance if you're in the US. So my American friends, you need to help us out here because we need this. Toka and Razor, there's the link page. I'll come back round to you guys in a second. Let me keep going through. But Toka and Razor, Cartoon Turtles, this one may go up on the 2nd of September. So I'm talking this Friday, as in Friday coming up. And also an opportunity to get Zack and Smash. Now, of course, Smash is the leader of the sort of toon sort of grunts that are in a 2-pack with the Rock Soldiers. And Zack as well is the 5th turtle, technically. That's what they call him anyway. They dub him the 5th turtle. And he has 2 heads. And I sort of regret not buying 2 of him so I could display him with both heads. So the display is going to be big enough. So I may be in for one of these as well. And then next up, we get the Crooked Turtle Gang that I just mentioned with the Rock Soldier Infantry in an Army Builder 2-pack. Great Army Builder pack if you're interested in buying them. You need at least 3 or maybe 4 of the Turtle Gang, that's for sure. And then finally, the Neutrino 5-pack, as it states there, which I did say, technically it does have 5 unique characters in it, but it's 3 big characters all the same. Tannis is upside down there now. There you go. Thank you.
Good spot.
But anyway, there's my signature. But let's go back. Anyway, so that's everything that should be going back up for pre-order this month. Okay, so Tanner, over to you. Thoughts on this Neca Geek Fallout? Do they just hate the UK? And is there anything that you're after here? A good opportunity for yourself?
With regards to this, hopefully it's better. I'm going to look at the positive side here, or possible positive side. Hopefully they've learned from their freaking mistakes with Haulathon, and this will be far better managed than Haulathon was. I'm being positive here. Call me deluded because it probably won't be the case, but I think hopefully it'll be better managed. Now, as far as the things that have been announced, I've already got most of it on pre-order as it is anyway, and it's a good way to get people who missed out on those initial 2-week pre-orders for them to pick it up in Target stores. Now, the only thing I'll be looking forward, and I've already got like 3 of my friends out in the US combing their targets for these guys, will be this Tucker and Raza pack. The only thing I missed out of the haul, couldn't get from the haulathon.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed I managed to get. Well, fingers crossed we all managed to get it this time round.
This is a cry for help. Anyone in the US right now, we're talking to you directly. Help us get this 2-pack. It's impossible in the UK. It's not gone up for pre-order. We were told it would be up for pre-order somewhere, and it just never happened. It's just eluded us. But my Toon set will not be complete. My Toon collection will not be complete without these. So I need them. Make it happen, someone. Jay, what do you think of this NECA Target Geek Fallout? And is there anything here that you're thankful for the opportunity to get again?
It's always good to have like a second chance release, isn't it? So I'm happy for everybody to get another chance at it. But to say, well, we've heard the Target app and things aren't particularly great, so it may not be easy. But there's always living in hope, isn't there, to see if it actually worked.
Don't give me hope, Jay. Don't give me hope.
A lot of it, the stuff we could have got directly from NECA, I have already pre-ordered. I've got a couple of the Rock Soldiers and Crooked Ninja Turtle gang on pre-order. Same with the leader and the old fifth turtle, so he's okay.
Zach, yeah.
With Toka and Razor, quite honestly, until this actually came out, I had no idea they were actually in the cartoon because it's such a later episode.
One episode, yeah.
They do look great, and I'm perfectly happy to have it. But I'm kind of also like, because I don't really remember it, I'm happy to wait to see if there is a UK release rather than having to panic about getting this one because I really just remember them from the film, to be honest.
I was told by UK stores that they are going to be up for pre-order. But that was during Haulathon, so I assumed after Haulathon they'd be up for pre-order in the UK. But no UK pre-order at all has ever happened. So, and there's no official word from NECA that that's going to be the case either. So, when asked about this set in particular, Randy at NECA has just always pointed to a Target re-release, which is exactly what this is. So, yeah, again, I'm not holding out hope for the UK. Just in case it doesn't happen and then I've missed out entirely, I'd rather pay the little bit extra to get a friend to ship it to me from the US to make sure I don't miss out. Because even though, yes, they're only in one episode, it's Toka and Razor. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's that nice little Easter egg for the shelf where you can be like, there's the movie versions, oh, and there's the cartoon versions. You bet you didn't know they're in the cartoon. I say that like someone comes to look at my display. No one looks at my display. No one cares. I'm like, Amanda, look, Toka and Razor. I should say who? She wouldn't even know. So it doesn't make a difference. But I'd know, and that's what matters. But
I'm sure Teddy's interested in your display.
Of course he is. I've got to tell myself anyway. Good job we can't speak English. Otherwise he'd tell me to shut up as well, probably. But anyway, NECA Full Geek Out. It's starting right now, people. If you're in the US, go and check your NECA stores. Let me know what you find. People are already starting to find stuff. And all these things will be made available online as well. You can see the Target page holder links there. And shout out, I think it's TMNT Party Wagon on Facebook. That's where I've grabbed these images from. I did not make these myself. I'm not claiming I did. I took these offline. Long live the internet. So shout out whoever put this together yourself. It was very informative and very useful. We appreciate it. We're just discussing it here today. Okay, gents, I think in regards to toy news, I think that's all I've got written down. So let's end the stream with some toy related news, but let's move away from toys for a second. And we can talk. I think there's a movie that just come out on Netflix that I haven't watched yet, and also a computer game. So where do you want to start? Have you both seen the movie?
Yeah, let's start with the movie then. Yeah, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I did watch it.
Okay, quick review.
I really enjoyed it as well. I really enjoyed it as well. A lot of fun. Good action scenes. You get to see a version of Leo just learning how to be a good leader throughout that movie. Which is quite interesting because during the season, during the cartoon series, Raph was actually the leader because he's the oldest and the biggest. Until the final episode, the final line in which Splinter says, "Oh, Blue, you're now leader," So this is just a follow up from that. It's quite fun. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend to go and watch it to anyone. It's only like an hour.
Can you enjoy it without of seeing the series it's attached to? Because I've not seen any of the series.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. They build up the characters quite nicely. So I really, really enjoyed it. And it's a very interesting, it's an interesting story as well. So to say, check it out. I'm sure you can see much worse movies at an hour and a half out there.
What's it called again?
Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
And it's on Netflix right now, so it's completely free to watch. Jay, have you watched that?
I can give you a review of the first 15 minutes because I've watched the first 15
How was the
minutes.
first 15 minutes?
It was very good.
Okay.
There was a brief sort of plot summary. It seems like Terminator with turtles.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So it's like it seems like a time travel story. So
Okay.
yes, it's good action to start with, and then somebody has to go back to change something that's happened. Very Terminator-y. So yeah, it's really good animation as well. A very different style because I've not really watched a lot of modern Turtles, but
Right.
I was enjoying it. But I had to turn it off because you wanted to watch Sandman, so we had to
That's
go.
fair. I'm working my way through that as well, but I get it. But yeah, so 15 minutes good enough to make you want to watch the rest, so it's all good. So I've seen you holding something up, Jay, and has Amazon delivered something that may be perfect for this stream?
We'll find out. This literally came about 45 minutes ago.
Okay.
So let's have a look. If it's what I think it is, of course, it's something completely different.
Hooray! It is. So what is it, Jay? What is it?
That is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. So it's all the retro arcade games and NES games in one collection. So it's the reason I went back, as I said before, and bought all the Neca gaming figures, assuming I would like this game. Let's hope I do.
I'm sure you will. Tanner, I'm assuming yours is already downloaded, ready to go as soon as this stream ends.
Well, I got the digital copy, so I'm going to pull my camera and I'm going to turn it around for you all to see.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
So what game? You put a
Yeah.
post up earlier on Instagram, didn't you? Sort of asking what you should play first. So did you have Did you get an answer? Have you decided what's your go-to?
So, so I've had a couple of different answers. I think what I'll do is I'll play them in timeline order.
Okay.
So you've got the original NES Turtles game, which I had on the NES, with that hellish underwater level. If you ask anyone who played that game, they will quote that level as being hell on earth, for lack of a better term. And then just move forward from there. It's nostalgia is a powerful thing, and because I played quite a few of the games not quite a few, just the NES game and Turtles in Time, and the arcade game. So because I played a couple of those, it's just I've got good memories of playing them, and I'm looking forward to that. And the fact that Shredder's Revenge just basically brought up that interest for these games to come out as well. So some online co-op hopefully will get going soon, Jay, yeah?
I don't actually have an online PS4 account, I was going to say.
Well, Jay's just started doing some retro gaming on his channel, so he's going to have to figure it out so he can get some Turtles on the go as well. I'm just going to jump to the chat real quick. Cloud Foxwell seems to remember that underwater level. I think that's what his response is to. Rob Pollock says, you mean Shall on Earth. I like that. Also, your boys got toys. Ask, is there a TMNT Monopoly? Asking for a friend. I wouldn't be surprised if there is, but I genuinely don't know off the top of my head. When it comes to the computer games, I definitely had one on Sega Mega Drive, but I don't know what it was. Like, again, I'm not really a gamer as such. Like, I played some as a kid, but don't really play any now. So I don't know. I'm sure if I played it, I'd remember what it was, but I can't tell you what it was called. I'm tempted to get that set, though. How many games is on it?
13.
That's what I mean. Surely one of those 13 games is the game I played as a kid, so I need to figure it out.
It's not a bad price for what you get on it, I don't think.
The Fossil says, remember to walk across that one gap. Don't jump. I'm assuming he's still walking about the water level.
I was stuck on that bit for so long when I was younger. Oh my God. And when I found out you can walk across it, it was just sort of like, Really? Oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah. I was stuck on that bit for a while.
Chris Jamie Max says there was a study of 40,000 kids, out of them less than 3% watch cartoons. And when they watched our older cartoons, out of them all, Rainbow Bright is what they favorited. Shake my head. I don't even know what Rainbow Bright is. Do you know what that is? That's got to be American, right? I have no idea what that is. But sad times. I tried to get my niece into like watching Pokemon and Turtles when she was little, and I got her into Pokemon for a little bit, but like they just don't. It's hard, isn't it, to get them to like what you like, because it's just a different world now. But sad times all the same. But thank you to everyone for being here today and jumping in the chat with us, talking some toys. As I said, this month was a bit of a, I don't want to say slow month, because there's always stuff to talk about. As I said, we've been talking for the last hour and 40 minutes about it, so there's always something to talk about. But we are sort of waiting for this sort of event, this fall geek-a-thon nonsense to be over with, so we can get some pre-orders again, because we are hoping that Neca living room dio will go up for pre-order in September. That is probably what I'm excited about next. And I'm also expected any day now my shredder from the Secret of the Ooze, so I can display him with my Toka and Razor holding the big dandelion. So that's my next sort of turtle thing. And also all of our San Diego Comic-Con pre-orders have shipped, so hopefully next time we're doing a Turtles and Tea, we will all have them to show off as well. But that's about it from me. Tanner, any more from you? Any Turtles you're expecting anytime soon?
So, the pre-order list is huge. I know we got the... What was shipping on the way at the moment? Was it the Zack and Slash and the Rock Soldier?
We haven't had a shipping notice yet, but I think they're next, yeah.
Yeah, so
okay. No, the pre-mutation 4 pack is on the way.
The San Diego
That's what
Comic-Con.
it is. That's what I was thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah. So, lots of pre-orders. One thing I've learned today that, and I'm so glad I pulled the trigger on this, is with that Universal Monsters line, Michelangelo, they released a mummy accessory pack with a sarcophagus as well. Now, I know we debated whether or not Michelangelo will fit, and a picture came out earlier today showing it's a tight squeeze, but he does fit. So I'm so glad I pulled the trigger on that. Just because I can have him pose as him peering out of the sarcophagus.
I'm trying to find the image for you real quick before we get out of here. No, I'm good, thank you. I'm trying to find that image. Amanda just tried to invade the stream with a dog. I'm just trying to get it now. I'm just seeing if I can get it on the screen. I don't think it's working. But yes, you are right. It does work, which I was surprised about, to be honest, but I'm not mad about it. Okay, I got it working. Let me swap this with this. Press a button. And sorry, it's a bit of a small image, but hopefully you can see it. You can see Mikey is actually in the sarcophagus, which now makes me want the sarcophagus. Like... Simple as that. Now I'm down another £30 or whatever it is because I need to do this. This is how I need to display my Mikey, I think. It just spruces up, makes it more of an interesting display. So, yeah, I like that idea. I'm glad to see it works. Shout out Mike Hex. I think he shared that picture with us as well. But there we go. What about you, Jay? What's next to arrive for you? Are you still going to keep scratching that SUPER7 itch?
Yeah, I've had a look at what I probably still need to pre-order from the upcoming waves that aren't out. So I need to get Krang from Wave 5,
which is due next month. So that'll be the next wave coming, yeah.
And Leatherhead. That Leatherhead looks great. So then it's a decision of am I going to get Leo and get the other turtles or not. So they're the things.
I'm like you. I'm yet to pre-order any of those new sets, but I know when Tanner starts showing them off, I'm going to be jealous. So I need to jump on them before the pre-orders disappear.
And Wave 6, I really want that Scratch now, the cat, because after all the stories of how that thing goes for 4,000.
Exactly. And earlier I mentioned about wanting to only buy the figures that I had as a kid. Now, obviously, I didn't have Scratch when I was a kid, otherwise I'd be a millionaire by now. But that's an example of wanting to get a figure that I never had, because now I have the opportunity to. So, yeah, I also need Scratch with his bag of loot as he's escaping prison. Yeah, there's so much Turtles. That's why Turtles and Tea exists, people, because there's just so much Turtle stuff coming out these days. We're living in a golden age of collectibles, and it's a great time to be a Turtles fan, whether you're a gamer, whether you collect, whether you read the comics, whether you watch movies. There's a new movie being produced right now, I think, for later next year. So, again, fun time to be a collector, and as long as there's stuff to talk about, Turtles and Tea will continue one Tuesday a month, unless there's some special news to come up and we just cannot help ourselves and talk about it. But thank you to everyone in the chat. Let me just have a quick scroll through. I can see California Red Devil, Rob Pollock, Mike Hex, The Fossil, Phil Jones, the super producer Rich M's in there, Chica Monkey Kiara, who's just off to your side, isn't she, Jay? She just to the left?
Over there.
There she is. Shout out all the same. We got RP, your boys got toys, Cloud Foxwell, Omega Weapon, Chronic the Ledgehog. I like that name. We appreciate you watching today's stream, and again, shout out everyone who's watching on the replay. If you are watching on the replay, go on.
Sorry to interrupt. Is the poll still going? Should we really end that, or has that been stopped now?
I'm just trying to ignore it, to be honest. I don't appreciate you. Don't appreciate you bringing attention to it. Now I sort of have to acknowledge this lie that's been made. I do think this is in honor of our guest Jay, though, because Jay loves Leonardo. So I'm ending the poll, whether I agree with it or not. But in first place, we have Leonardo with 33%. Second place is Raphael with 27%. Close behind them in third place is Michelangelo with 25%. And in last place, Donatello.
I don't have a Donatello Mega Block, so I know him in this
They
camera,
must have
sorry.
thought this was in the reverse order or something. Something kabuki issues going on. Yeah, anyway, the poll is ended. I'm going to choose to ignore it from this moment on. There's only one turtle emoji, and that is all I shall say to end this stream. But thank you to everyone watching. Jay, thank you for being a guest today. You were here on the first, you're still here now, and you're welcome back anytime, my friend. Where can the people find you online?
You can find me online on Instagram and YouTube at Jays_Toy Collection UK, where I might have a go at streaming this thing in a couple of days or so. See if I can.
He was
not
retro
fall down the
gaming.
hole.
I was watching him. He can do it. Let's see if he's any better at these turtle games.
I'm terrible. I've never played a turtle game. So.
Okay, that'll be even more. That's what makes it entertaining. Tanner, what about you? Where can the people find you online? The co-host of Turtles and Tea, of course, here every single time.
So here on Turtles and Tea, on Legends and Liquor, and so at times, and also SuperTech 5000 on Instagram. Give me a follow. I post every day, do like little stories, this, that, and the other. Do question and answers here and there. Come and join the crew and get me up to 500 to. Get me up to 500.
All the links are in the description, okay? So if you are watching the stream, show some love. The links are in the description. The link is also there to go and buy some merch from the whole Dan Who network, but especially Turtles and Tea, of course. What I love is that you can actually buy a Turtles and Tea mug. Very inexpensive, and it reps the brand, all right? Turtles and Tea. We live the gimmick on this channel, people. We actually live the gimmick, so we appreciate that. But as always, thank you to everyone, and we will be back next time there's some turtle news. I guess we're nearly in September, but we'll see you again at the end of September, I guess. We'll see you soon, all right? Goodbye, everyone. Let's hit them with an awkward wave before we go. Now, I'm like Jay. I need to finish collecting my SUPER7. There's still a few more I need to get. I'm going to have to go on Amazon US. You need to send me that link, Jay, for Muckman. I think I need to go and backtrack myself. Bye-bye.